What does it mean to feel worthy? Are you someone who feels like you don't have value? Like you're maybe not good enough, not smart enough, not capable enough? I get it. I totally get it. I think a lot of us struggle with this sense of finding our value. And I've struggled with this my whole life. I still do. But it's something that I have learned how to move through with 3 simple steps. So stick with me. I'm going to give you the 3 steps. I'm going to show you how you can transform your life. And this will help you in everything you do. With you understanding your worth, man, changes everything.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
I'm going to get personal with you because this is a personal thing. Our sense of worth, our sense of value, it lies deep in the core of who we are. And when I first was dating the girl that I married, I was so struck by her. She was amazing. And I wanted her to like me so badly that I just let her see all the best parts of me, the parts I knew she would like. And anything that I sensed she didn't like, I pushed down. I got rid of. I hid. And over the years, that took a toll in 2 ways. First of all of my sense of value I placed upon her. It was an impossible load for her to carry. It was crushing. Can you imagine? And I think a lot of women and a lot of men carry this for each other in relationships. If I had to get all my sense of value from the good feedback that you gave me, and then if you give me negative feedback, it's crushing to me, and so then it becomes defensive. I don't want to deal with what I'm being told because it's too much. I don't have a sense of value within myself. And that created real tension within my marriage because I was putting all of my sense of worth on one person. And I had a black void, a black hole within myself that no one could fill. I had to learn to fill that myself. And when I did, when I finally did, I was able to show up and be who I am and be seen by people that could recognize me. And that is something that's worthwhile. Because if you're trying to win people over by being who you think they want you to be, you will never believe that you have worth. Because you're not really you. And if they knew the real you, would they still like you? You have to get out of that trap. The trap of trying to be something that you hope will be accepted versus the freedom of being who you are and finding the people that love you and want to be with you. That only comes when you first love yourself. So, step 1 of this process. And when I did this, I'll tell you, the story does not have a good ending in some ways, but when I finally accepted who I was and I was able to show up as I am, it ended my marriage. It was a terrifying thing to have to face. But the joy that I have found in acknowledging that I'm okay, even if she doesn't like me, is powerful. The joy that I'm able to say, hey, I can do this. I am worthy. And whether you like me or not doesn't change my knowledge that I am worthy. Wow, that's a powerful place to be when you're feeling it. It's powerful. So I want you to be able to do that because we need you to feel worthy, because I believe that every one of you that's watching this has something in you to give the world, and we need it. We're all connected. So your sense of diminishing yourself or not having the sense of worthiness to step into that space and own who you are keeps us from seeing your greatness. First thing you got to do is acknowledge that you have limitations and that you don't feel worthy. Some people aren't even capable of doing that, and they call this the Dunning-Kruger effect. It's a psychological, these guys, Dunning and Kruger, did an evaluation of people, and they would ask them questions to understand if they emotionally understood what was going on within themselves. And the people that thought that were most adamant that they were confident and had all of their knowledge and they understood everything that was going on in their minds. And the more they felt that, the less they actually were aware. So if you're sitting here watching this video thinking, oh, I'm great, I never have a problem with this, you might want to think about Dunning-Kruger effect and consider that maybe you have some work to do to get down to the real core of yourself, which sometimes wavers. We all do. So the second thing, once you have been able to acknowledge that you have feelings of unworthiness, is to offer yourself forgiveness. Offer yourself compassion. Give yourself support where you feel weak. You know, it's an interesting thing when we get injured physically. I literally have this cut on my finger. I sliced off a tip of my finger and I had it bandaged up earlier in the week. I had a bunch of gauze around it. I kept it really protected. I was putting ointment on it every day and I wasn't using it because it was painful. But when we are emotionally troubled, we often fail to offer ourselves a bandage to take care of that space, to support ourselves where we need that support. And when we don't do that, that injury just stays. We stay weak there. We can't overcome it. So you offer yourself forgiveness and compassion versus berating yourself, which is our common methodology. Now, if I were to get mad at my finger and start punching it, it would literally start to bleed right now. I couldn't recover. But if I take care of it, it will heal. It may leave a scar. I don't think this one will. But the scar is just a memory of something I got past. Offer yourself this kindness, this compassion, and you will move through your sense of self-worthy, your low self-worth beliefs. And then, once you've done that, you can come to the final place and realize that you are great and you are weak. And that's a beautiful thing. The whole package is understanding you're both. You're weak and you're great, and that's your sacred ground. That's where you have your power. And that's where you truly understand your worthiness, because your worthiness does not puff you up. It does not make you toxically bold or confident. It just makes you understand that as a human, you have value. And you are the only one that can cover that black hole of need. You will never, ever fill that need with the affirmations of other people outside yourself. You've got to do it within your own heart. Cover that hole with your own sense of worth, and then when you hear other people compliment you, you can actually accept a compliment. It won't bounce off you like Teflon. You can take it. Or if someone gives you criticism, it won't make you defensive. You can now face that criticism with curiosity and interest. Learn from it, because it doesn't diminish your worth. It'll change your life. I hope that you can really, really understand the value of knowing your worth. It's changed my life. It has changed my life significantly. And though I may have lost a marriage to it, it's gonna make, in every way, it's made me happier because I'm able to actually just be who I am and not worry about it. And the people that are around me now support me. They love me. And I don't question whether or not they love me because I'm showing who I am. There's no hiding. It's a great thing. It's a scary, scary step to take. And finally, step 3. Loving the good and the bad in yourself. This is what we need to do to recognize when you're in your desperate times and your greatest need, your worthiness is knowing that you are more than the bad or just the good. You're a whole package. I want to wrap up with one more personal example from my life where I felt really unworthy. And, through public school, from kindergarten to grade 12, I was a terrible, terrible student. I barely graduated. Nobody thought I was even going to go to college. My grades weren't good enough. They were talking to me in career counseling about being a fireman. My mom used to say, you're going to be a garbage collector, stuff like that. And I just truly thought I couldn't succeed. What happened was I actually ended up getting into university because I had family connections that got me in, which was fortunate. And I ended up on academic scholarship. was crazy. I couldn't believe it. How could I get an academic scholarship? And this transformed this duality of my existence. My public school experience where I felt like every year, am I gonna pass this year? I remember opening my report card at the end of the year and thinking, please let me pass. Never sure. And I didn't fail a year, but there were close calls. And then going to an university where I'm up against people that I felt were really intelligent and getting on an academic scholarship, it just kind of blew my mind. And holding that picture, the good and the bad together, well, that begins to help you have a better understanding of your worthiness. And this is just in one area of my life, right? But I was able to cover a spot in my life that I thought I was stupid. And I was able to hold that with myself and say, I'm not stupid. I got some abilities. Sometimes we just diminish ourselves so much that we can't access them. So if this is you, find your worthiness, bring it all together. That's what we want to see, because you're going to show your greatness to the world. Thanks for hanging out with me. Subscribe if you like what you're seeing. Make some comments. I'd love to hear how you feel worthy, or where you're struggling with feelings unworthiness, or how you overcame this within yourself. It's always interesting to see what we do to overcome, and everyone can learn from each other. I will comment and talk to you as well. If you want to know more about how to feel worthy, I have this other video, how to feel worthy of love. Don't forget, worthiness comes from within. It'll never come from outside yourself. It's your job to make yourself feel worthy. Here's that video that I told you about, feeling worthy of love. Check it out.